Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another one-on-one, this time with Brian from Weird World War II. How's it going, man?
What's up, guys? Good to be here.
Holman, welcome to the show. Thanks for hanging out. I knew you wouldn't miss this one. I just knew it. Um, and for those of you guys who don't know, Holman and Brian met on my show a while back. And how far do you guys live away from each other?
It's like 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes.
I mean, how freaking
That's,
awesome is that?
that's some
You
crazy
know,
odds right there.
Yeah, well, yeah, and you guys are a couple of crazy guys, and you got a lot in common, the hobby, the whole bit, and you live in the same freaking state. I'm telling you, man, when I get out into Texas, we're gonna have to have some serious weird games. You up for that,
Definitely, dude.
Omen?
I'm down for that.
I got a private chat here. Oh, that's just you. Okay. Not just you, but doing the StreamYard thing takes a little getting used to. And even though I've been doing it for a little while now, it's
I need
still
to
there's some.
find, I need to, I might be using this one too because I'm having problems with the YouTube thing. It doesn't work well for me. And then I've been on Facebook doing it, and I mean, it's good and bad at times, but I need to find a dedicated, like, live streaming thing.
I really recommend StreamYards. You get six people, six guests or whatever, six people, including yourself. You get 20 hours a month for free. And if you want to pay, for the 25 bucks, I think it is a month, unlimited time
Oh,
and
that's not bad.
up to 10 and up to 10 people, which I don't recommend going more than six. A
That's
friend
a
of mine,
lot.
he does 10 people, and I'm like, I can't watch it half the time, because everybody's, talking over each other. And
Yeah.
I'm guilty of interrupting people more than a few times, but I'm old. And if I don't, I'm just going to forget. So like, sorry if I had a great idea, or at least my brain says, hey, blurt it out. So you said you're on Facebook and anywhere else people can find you?
Oh man, we're all over the net, guys. We're on Twitter. If you go to probably just go to weirdwwii.com. That's my blog. I've had for like 10 years or something. All of our locales are on the left hand side, and it's kind of the gateway to everywhere that we're at. So probably the best bet to find, you know, where we're at.
Hey, Nathan, if you guys don't know, he's my partner in crime on Saturday nights where we talk about real world weirdness. That's Nathan from
Oh,
the
right on.
Quantum Show. We talk about UFOs and Bigfoot, psychic phenomenon, anything that's weird, and it falls into that whole quantum category. We do it
Right on.
after my regular show on Saturday nights. So uh, he does a show while I'm doing the sci-fi chat for an hour. It's just him, and then after we do a panel show, and you're welcome to come hang out with us. Owen's been there a bunch of times. A lot of the regulars, have visited or been on the show.
Cool.
So the big thing I wanted to ask you is how did you get your start, man? What set
My
you down
origin
this?
story.
Yeah, exactly, man.
All right, man. So I've always been like a model builder, like model kits and stuff since I was a child. And my brothers were older. I had two older brothers, and they were into like the Avalon Hill stuff, the bookshelf stuff in the 70s. And so I was introduced to some of the chit games that you had Avalon
Okay,
Hill put out,
okay,
like the original
okay,
Gettysburg and Jutland and
okay.
all that stuff. Um, and I came home one day, and my brothers were playing on the dining room table with one of their friends, and they were playing those 25 or 15 Heritage Lord of the Rings,
Oh,
those
dude,
the
I know
originals.
the guy who's got the molds.
Oh wow, man! I saw that. He and the guy, just full armies, and it was amazing, and I was hooked. So from there, I dabbled in. We were playing D&D. I was a little young. I was about 10. So D&D like was pretty hardcore back in the first edition. And even second edition was a little bit tough for me, but I was playing it. But from there, I just started playing. Like I played Micro Armor. I played whatever my brothers were playing. And then I was also a big comic book kid. I was a big reader. I was a big science fiction and sci-fi. I was a big movie kid. So I was all into this cool stuff. And at 15, I got a job at the local comic book shop. It was like probably 87 or 88. I think it was 87. And that's when Rogue Trader dropped. And
Gotcha.
I was like, I had a discount and I jumped into 40K and I played Rogue Trader just crazy because I had that employee discount. And we were also playing, I was a big fan of Red Dawn and all that stuff. And me and my buddies got into Twilight 2000 really heavy, the original Twilight 2000. We played the hell out of that. And then I kind of D&D kind of waned, and then I started to do more miniature gaming. And I started doing more historicals. I started doing ancients and stuff. Started doing Revolutionary War and the Civil War, and it was doing stuff like that. But I was still playing Rogue Trader. When second edition ended, I was done with GW. I was done with it all. Then I was starting to play World War II 15 mil or micro armor actually, and it wasn't until the early, maybe mid 90s. There was a guy playing at the local game shop. They were playing Battleground World War II, which was like the first 28 millimeter World War II game. Really? It came out in the 90s. It was fantastic. I mean, I'm used to playing micro armor and stuff, and I'm just all of a sudden you got 148 scale tanks and 28 millimeter miniatures fighting on the battlefield. I'm like, holy cow! And I was hooked, dude. I was hooked, and I got really hardcore into that. And they didn't make any. There was like maybe 2 companies that were producing 28 millimeter World War II. I think it was like Black Flag or Black? Shit, I can't remember. Black Tree Designs were making about the only one they were making. And then, God, who was that? Some guys were making 25 mil. But anyway, I think Battle Honors was making 25 mil. Well, I got really hardcore into the World War II 28 millimeter stuff, and I played it for years and years and years and years, and I was getting burnout, man. I still liked playing sci-fi from time to time and horror and pulp and all this stuff, and I'm a big consumer of comic books and grindhouse cinema and pulp mags from the past. So I'm like, you know what? Why can't I just play all of those genres, sci-fi, horror, pulp, gangster, whatever it is, set within World War II? I can. I mean, there's no reason to have all these different game systems or rule sets or whatever. So, and then plus I had kids and I couldn't lug all that crap around anymore. So I made a decision that I would stick with the 28 to 32 millimeter scale, and all my stuff within the 1930 to the 1950 time frame. That's what I was keeping. Everything else was sold. Everything. So now I play all of my sci-fi in that time frame. I play all my horror in that time frame. I play all my pulp in that time frame. And I play, the historical in that time frame, and all that just melding together created weird World War II. So haven't been playing because you can only play the Battle of the Bulge historically so many times.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you got yeah.
Okay. Real quick, want to say hi to a couple people that popped in. Holy Diver, welcome to the show.
Holy Diver, what's up, dude?
And Squirrel Hermit. Hey, Squirrel, I want you on next, man. Gotta pencil you in something. I want to pick your brain as well, man. You were one of the funniest guys out there, and yeah. So, he's a great guy. He's a really great guy. Couple of questions. When you were getting started out, I also got kind of my start in a game shop. I was 14, and there's so much. The owner actually gave me keys. Well, he had a comic book shop Bob Dreyer, and then next door was the Unicorn's Lair, and it was just a game hall with some arcade machines and a whole bunch of ping pong tables converted into gaming tables with dry erase mats. He even had a I don't know if it was an original, but like part of the bridge from the Enterprise was just sitting there, just
Oh damn.
where Chekhov and Sulu would sit.
Sulu.
I think it was not, but that part of it. I don't know if it was original or whatever, but this so far back it could have been. It wouldn't have been that big a deal. But I was curious because my old man was really influential in getting me into the actual miniatures aspect with like Aerofix, miniatures and building tank kits and stuff like that. Was your old man, or was it just your brothers that were kind of into it, or?
Well, I've always been a historical guy. I got a degree in history and all that crap. So, I mean, I was always a historical guy. And I was big into war movies, and as I grew older, well, not too much older, I had some buddies. Well, my family had some pals. Their kids collected comic books. So and they gave me their whole collection. It was like all the Army at War, all the Sergeant Rock, all our fighting forces, Weird War Tales, all that crap. So I had all that.
That was DC. That was DC Comics, right?
DC stuff.
Yeah,
and
I
that
had
was
a bunch of those too.
and I also love the twisted grindhouse cinema from the the Italian 70 Nazi exploitation crap. I read all the pulp, the sleeve pulp magazines, from the 60s and the 50s, and I read all those comics, and I read a lot of sci-fi. So I read a lot, and then plus I was a history guy. Now, and when I play Weird War, guys, it's not just like zombies and robots and shit. I mean, I am like, FDR is killed in 1933, and he's replaced by Gardner, and Gardner's like a blue dog Democrat, and he starts to close the borders down and starts suppressing. I play like that, man. And this timeline is developing my own game, like with hard political fact that's been slowly nudged. Oh yeah, Antarctica, sure.
That's part of my upcoming game. I'm going to run.
Land, yeah.
I'm going to use the Amazing Adventures game to run. You probably heard me tell about it before. Nazi dinosaur cults.
Yeah.
From maybe New Swabia or at the Earth's core or something like that. I haven't figured out the last part of it, but I need some help with some particulars in that. But I'm not going to go into too much of that. But I do. I have some Reaper Chronoscope miniatures, and I really like those. So I'm going to grab some of the the American and Nazi zombies because those are.
That line Chronoscope comes from a abandoned weird World War II rule system that Reaper was going to produce. They were going to do a weird. Yeah, they just decided against it, and they went a different way. And even was it God, who was it? England, the guy who did all the artwork for Pathfinder's first edition stuff. He did some excellent artwork for it too, but they just didn't do anything. So they moved that line into this Chronoscope, just kind of like a general kind of a pulpy. But that's what that like the Germans and the German Nazis and the Nazi Hitler and all that stuff. That was all going to be a weird World War II game.
That's a shame they didn't get around to it. Welcome, Mobius, to the show. I am looking for some 28 millimeter lines of miniatures that will go along with that, because if I run it online as a like a Discord or something like that, I will want to use miniatures to show where people are for combat. Otherwise, it's just going to be theater of the mind. If my friends were here, then we go down to the dinner table and break out all the terrain and crap like that. But I just have that luxury, and I've got friends all over the world. But for this particular game, it'll probably be guys from the States. Ullman's going to be there. Mark from Mark's Genre Mixer, probably Bo from Bo Paints Minis, and I'm not sure who else will be there. Hopefully my son Jack will be. I'd really like him to have a conversation with you because he spends most of his free time playing a game called Hearts of Iron. Are you familiar with
Oh
it?
yeah, yeah.
This I don't get it. It's way above my pay grade when it comes to gaming and strategy and stuff like that. But
You know,
he'll take this tiny little country and then he'll win. You know what I mean? I'm like, how? How do you win with Portugal? How? How do you conquer the world starting there? And he's just and he knows all the history that I when I was in high school, going to school was not
oh, I
it
hated
just didn't
school.
work.
Fucking hated it.
Yeah, I was really only there for the girls. I mean, I literally walked out of an English class, um, and the
Well,
teacher
shit.
says, "Where are you going?" She says, "Where are you going?" And I looked at her and said, "There are no cute girls in this class. I'm out of here."
Well, shit. When
But
I was going to school, I was a big punk. I'd wear a TSOL shirt. I'd have fucking a mohawk or some shit, or I'd be wearing like,
that's funny. I used to date this girl who was her brother was in the band. I forget who.
really.
Yeah, way back in the '80s. Oh my God. I'll tell you a name
Yeah,
later and
that's
see if it
cool.
rings a bell. I'm pretty sure I could be thinking of somebody else, but I'm pretty sure that it was a long
But
time
like,
ago.
like at school, I didn't. Man, the girls hated me, and the reason why is like, I'd have a Fear or TSOL T-shirt on, or some the Cramps or something. And you
Mhm.
know what we were doing? We were talking about Twilight 2000. We were. I was not a fucking timid gaming geek. I braced that
Yeah,
shit, and if anybody stepped to me, I'm just like, "Fuck you, dude. I'm having fun."
yep,
And I'm like,
yep,
but
yep.
we didn't have that geek chic like they have now, man. We were outcasts for openly liking that kind of shit. So, but I embraced it, man. I was like, that's who I am. I ain't afraid. Fuck them.
Not at all surprised, Hermit. I was a
Ain't
metalhead.
hell yeah.
I
I
was
tr-
in a metal band. I was in a bunch of metal bands. I was in a couple other progressive sort of Rush like or alternative bands as well during high school and college. Um,
well,
but yeah,
it's
I've had the long hair most of my life, except for like a period of about 20 years where I was doing other stuff and it just wasn't okay to do. We'll talk about that later. Everybody else knows about my PI days. Um, but I was unapologetically a gamer. I don't know about you, but those micro games like Ogre and
oh yeah,
Chitin and some of the historicals,
Star
I'd walk around.
Wars.
I'd have one of those in my back pocket all the freaking time. If I didn't have the player's handbook, I mean, because we at lunch we'd break it out and play
Yep.
Warp War or
I got a
not
great
Pathfinder.
story for you. I got a great story for you guys. So this is probably junior high, right? So that we're talking late 80s or something. We're in the cafeteria, and one of my buddies, he was like in the drama class, and anyway, he was able to get a copy of the blueprints of the school. Okay, I don't know where he got it, but he got it. So we're sitting around, the table at lunch, and we're drawing like, because we're big Twilight 2000 players. We were drawing like, okay, dude, the Cubans are gonna invade our fucking town, and we got to protect our girlfriends at our school. So we started making like booby traps that down the hallway here and whatever. So we're doing all these schematic, we have these real school schematics. We're putting booby traps and like whatever, arcs of fire. We set up, whatever. And then a teacher comes by and taps the, "What are you guys doing?" And he's like, "Oh, we're just planning the devastation of the school." And they're like, "Oh," he's like, "Okay, it's cool." Totally different fucking time. If that was to be done today, the cops would show up and you'd be expelled or whatever. But man, that's when we were geeks like that when we were playing Twilight 2000. Because I grew up in Dallas Fort Worth area in Arlington, and in Arlington they had like the Texas Ranger Stadium was there, and Six Flags was there, and we would have like the Soviets, and us, the freedom fighters fighting in our streets in our
Wolverine!
hometown. Yeah, Wolverines. Oh, dude, yeah. But yeah, that's
Freaking
we were
awesome, man.
we were in it, man. We were in it hardcore for a long, long time.
Yeah, I didn't get in. I mean, I grew up being more of a sci-fi fan with my old man's influence. Planet of the Apes, Soylent Green, Silent Running,
Oh
Rollerball,
yeah.
the classics. But when I got into the fantasy thing, it kind of meshed with the heavy metal thing and the
Oh
black
yeah. I was.
magic and the Satanism.
It's Holy
So I
Diver
literally,
contest. I'm a huge Ronnie James Dio, Ronnie Dio fan,
hey,
man.
Holy Diver's
I
here,
was a
man.
metalhead too.
Holy Diver is here in the house.
Huge
Um,
metalhead.
so that
Megadeth
Satanic
and
Panic thing, the
yeah,
Satanic Panic thing was a real thing here. I literally knew crazy whacked out gamers that took it way too seriously. I mean, way too seriously. Actual blood and sacrifices. No humans
I've
that I
seen
know
that
of.
too.
But we do live where I lived closer at the time to this place called Black Star Canyon, and it's got this really notorious um, reputation. And one of my friends was able to drive, and so we'd go up there, and we almost got ourselves into some seriously scary ass trouble. I mean, people walking down the street, mind you, it's up in the mountains, away from everybody, and literally, we brought our black robes because we heard about people with black robes and torches, and we forgot to bring any torches. So we like tried to sneak in line to get in, and they were not having it. And we had to run and drive for our freaking lives to get the hell out of there.
we
And
I
it
was
was a thing,
invited
man.
to I was invited to a couple like black masses or whatever they call them back when I was back in the day, and they wanted me like DM something for them or whatever. I'm like, I'm not dragging all that shit that I got to drag the DM out into the wilderness. You come to the house and we'll play on my table. I'm not gonna just like, yeah. I remember some of the guys were like hardcore like that.
I'm really sorry to hear that, Squirrel. My old man threw out only one thing, and it was War of the Ring. And I was never able to reacquire that because now it's like $250. Even though there's a newer version, I had the original with the cartoon artwork from the movie.
I remember that.
And I never even got a chance to play it. And he got pissed off at me and tossed it. And I tried getting it back, but somehow one of the map boards just up and freaking disappeared out of the trash can even. And so I'm just like,
Oh man.
so I
The only thing
eventually threw it away.
I think the only thing I ever got a pushback from my folks, my dad, I was listening to some SOD or MOD, I think it was, and like the Hate Tank or whatever it
It
was.
was
And he was
MOD.
like, whoa, he was like listening to the lyrics, like, what kind of crap is that? And I'm just like, it's metal, Dad. You won't understand. And that's the only thing. He talked to me for like 5 minutes and then he walked off, and that was it. So I had pretty free reign to do whatever I wanted as a kid. So
Yeah,
I
me
didn't
too.
turn out too twisted.
Both my parents had polio, so they're in wheelchairs. So
Oh,
I
wow.
could get away with whatever the hell I wanted to. I mean, literally. And fortunately, I actually, wisened up before it was too late. My little brother, on the hand, not so much. He will never see the light of day again.
Well, that's not good.
And no, not good. But we parted, ways. I was 21. He was 20, 19, something like that. And we haven't spoken since. Never will. And
Well, there's
you
a
know,
schism in my family like that too, dude. It's a huge, long story, but the half of my family doesn't speak to me. I don't care.
sorry to hear that, man.
I don't even give a damn.
The rest of my family, they're no longer around. They all passed
Yeah,
away.
most of my
Many
family
years
are
ago.
gone. I've been
So
there.
So, a lot of guys like you and Omen and some of the other guys you'll meet, are my bros and Jackie's uncles. Because I couldn't give him real uncles because the one he's really got, no.
Yeah.
No. I mean, the last photo I saw of him, he literally had a swastika, right? Freaking here, shaved head. It was a prison tat, but that's because that's where
Yeah.
he was, and that's where he will, spend the rest of his days. So I hope one day you'll get to chat with the little guy. He's a cool kid. You'd
Right on.
really
Well, I'd love to corrupt him into the world of weird World War II. That's great. You can do anything you want.
He's probably more in line with that than I am, and definitely more into the possibilities of stuff like that. And I mean, it's got to come from my dad, because my old man, our family, had some history during that conflict, and my son is literally. I can see those genetic memories that passed by me and went right into him. My dad spoke 17 languages because he had the time to do that. And my son, he speaks Spanish. He's teaching himself German, which my mom and dad met in a German class in the college they went to.
Very cool.
So it's for me, it's kind of weird, in the 60s, meeting in a German class. Of all the languages you could have taken in the 60s, it was like, really? But it's not that weird. I mean, it's weird, but not as weird when you know the details. And just things like that, that I'm seeing with him that are weird, because I have no interest. English is as far as I went, man, and I'm still working on English.
My kids are weird too, man. But I homeschooled my kids. They've never stepped in a classroom. I taught them how to read and write. It's been me. I've been
Bravo.
I have a sick kid, and one of the reasons is because he needed to stay home because of his illness. But I did that. I did that. I taught my children how to read, and as they've grown up, they've become their own people. And do they mesh well with the normies? I mean, what's normal, man? Seriously. I look at the news and I look at a lot of people, and I'm like, I do not identify. First of all, I don't identify with your labels, first of all. So don't even try to label something. I'm not into labels, man. We're all people, period. And I'm a big libertarian constitutionalist. I want as little governance as possible with maximum freedom, man. And I want live the way you want to live. Just don't prevent me from living the way I want to live. And I just live, I tell my kids one thing: be a force of good in the world. That's it. Do anything else. You can marry be married to two different people. You can be gay, you can be straight. I don't care. Just be happy and don't be a douche. Be a positive, aspect on the world that you're around.
Number one rule: don't be a douche.
Yeah, don't be a douche, man. It seems like everybody's default settings is douchery nowadays. Let's change it up.
There's an extraordinarily large amount of that going around. I think there's something in the water, but that's me and my Alex Jones conspiracy theory ways. I can't watch much of him anymore these days. Not because I don't like him. I just don't have the time to put more crap in my head that keeps me away from gaming. Speaking of gaming, real quick, Squirrel, let me know if you find that game. Maybe one of these days we'll get a chance to play it. And he says that he figured out that his folks wouldn't throw his stuff away if he said it was somebody else's. Yeah, I know that. I know that. It's not mine. I swear it's not mine. I'm just holding it for somebody. And Nathan, normal freaking muggles. And Squirrel, douchebaggery. Give me a recommendation of a really good line of metal WW2 minis.
Well, see, that's the thing about
minis. I'm looking for things like Doc Savage-y stuff, The Shadow, WW2.
Pulp figures. For
the most part, I guess, yeah.
That's a big pulpy line. Now, Merch is the guy who scopes it all. It has a very unique style to it. It's kind of cartoony and whatever. I like it. And he has a lot of weird, cool, pulp, characteristic minis in his line. It's fantastic. He's up in Canada. A little pricey for me, but they're definitely worth it. They're metals.
What's the name of the company?
Pulp Figures. Now, what's cool about Weird World War II is this World War II. I'm a big fan of Weird World War II being stuck in World War II. It's World War II that's weird, not a weird World War II. It's not like it's like, you know, a German is a German, but he happens to have like, you know, infrared tech on him, or, you know, he's driving a Maz tank or something like that. It's not like he's shooting laser beams and, you know, he's got wings, or, but you can do that too. But I'd like my weird war to be like mostly historically accurate, but then there's these weird aspects like World War II, you have Captain America. I mean, he's part of it. He's not like, you know, he's not flying around, you know, he's only one man doing what he can where he's at. But
Right,
you know,
right.
so I like stuff like that. I don't necessarily now, I mean, it really depends. Weird work can go in any way you want. You could say, you know, you can get as weird as zombies and walkers and shit, or you can just be as weird as, you know, the yeah, alien tech. You can do all that stuff, or you can just say Operation Sea Lion is it happens. The Germans invade, you know, the British Isles, or you know, the India revolts against the Commonwealth, and then all of a sudden that part of the Commonwealth collapses. Maybe you know, to get away from the English rule, the Indians make a pact with the Japanese that are right to on their doorstep, and they say, "Hey, give us freedom, we'll be a puppet state," or whatever. I mean, it could be as historically accurate that's just slightly bent, or it can just be right off the fucking rails. It's up to you. And that's one thing I like about weird anything. You make the fucking game. It's not some corporate asshole telling you to buy codexes and changing the rules after 3 years or whatever bullshit. You make the rules. You play what you want. You make the story. You do the line of minis that you want. You're not stymied by some marketing BS, man. Play it how you want. No
Well
one's
said.
telling you can't. Like, so, you know, playing in the World War II conflict is not PC. It's not PC at all. So you get pushback from that bullshit nowadays. And then you got the straight historical assholes that say, "Oh, I don't do weird war." It's like, dude, I know just as much about your straight historical crap that you do. I'm sick of playing it. I've done it. I've done every
See,
battle
that's one of the things I really respect about you is you've done the work to the point that you had to do or chose to do your own thing because you've done it enough. That's why you know, a lot of us keep bouncing from game to game because we've done the work.
finding that one thing.
There's only so many first level Dungeons and Dragons type games that I want to be part of. I trust me, I put my 10,000 plus hours. Okay, I'm ready to do other stuff.
Yeah.
And I literally could have said that 30 years ago. Okay,
yeah.
but I'm still this month it's Wild West. That's my version of your weird World War II. I like the Old West. It's it's just something that just for whatever reason, growing up as a kid here in California and around horses and cows and spurs and all that stuff, even though it might shock you, there was a lot of it growing up here. Yeah, no, I mean California though. Yeah. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of it, but
the left coast
for whatever reason, that's just something, I guess the whole idea of, I guess today you'd call it open carry. I mean,
oh yeah, I've carried a 40 cal on my hip for almost 20 years now.
And I growing up even as a kid, me and my buddy, we were the only guys we knew who wore cowboy boots. And, every day we'd be walking somewhere doing something. I'm like, man, we ought to have, 6 guns. What the fuck,
Yeah.
Excuse my French. And it just stuck with me, my dad owned a gun shop. So I was around that sort of thing, all my life. And then I got into other things. And it just, just something about that whole sort of, rugged individualism has always appealed to me, and we need more of it.
I mean, that's a dying characteristic, man. I mean, I'm big into collective individualism. Let's all be our own people. You know, and try to live in peace if we can, but be your own person, man. Stop with these labels and crap.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I've been able to instill that with my son, despite his mother's objections. But you know, because of the language barrier, it's working out in my favor because I don't speak Spanish. But you know, he's a good kid. He's turned out really good. I've been really lucky to be at home his whole life.
Cool.
So I'm there, you know, every day, all day. If he needs something, you know, we have really interesting conversations that I'm not going to share. But, you know, uh,
Well, that's one thing. I
we,
always had an open door policy with my kids. No question is taboo. Because if they can't come
yeah,
to me and ask, you know, a poignant question about something, then who can they go to? But yeah,
yeah.
so you know, so like
I
I've
know,
been
Nathan. Me too, kind of.
I've been like I said, I've been playing this stuff for 40 years. I've owned a miniatures company. You know, I've worked with a lot of these companies before, beta
Hey, you got any
testing
left?
and what's
You
that?
got any left? You got
What?
any left for sale? Miniatures.
No, I sold my company off to somebody. And for some reason, I had a company called What the Miniatures. And see, and the reason I started this, first of all, is it was mostly weird World War II stuff, right? Because no one was making it. No one was making superheroes or zombie, you know, German zombies, or they weren't making any of that shit. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start making this stuff myself. I had my sculptor was Aaron Brown of Black Crab Studios. He's down in New Zealand. My caster was Forrest Harris of Knuckle Duster. You should check out Knuckle Duster, man. He makes a hell of a line of Old West stuff. It's fantastic. He was my caster, and I sold all my stuff just through the message boards and the blogs and all that
Okay.
stuff. But I was like the
Well, you
first
know,
guy to have like,
I'm pretty innovative, and you know, I learned how to find just about anything. Don't be surprised if I find some of those minis.
yeah, find some.
I'm,
One of
I'm
my
gonna put it
biggest
on my.
my biggest sale hit was I did a World War II era Captain America and Bucky. They both had Thompsons in their hand, grenades on their belt, badass. And that was just a limited run that I produced. And of course, you know, I didn't have fucking rights. I don't give a shit. I'm gone. I was gonzo all the way. I just made it anyway. I did a Red Skull. I did some U.S. airborne zombies. I did some German zombies. I did like a Ilsa, She-Wolf, the SS chick. I did all sorts of stuff. But when my son became really ill, I didn't have the time. I didn't have the money to keep it going, and I sold it all off. But
Sorry to hear that, but here you are. You know, no worse for wear, and
it's true. You know, and I want to convey one thing to everybody out there, guys. I am not in any of this for the fucking money. I don't want Patreon. I don't want any of that crap. This is my hobby, and I'm pushing weird World War II because it's something that I love. I don't, you know, I just want to expose folks to it. And if you make weird World War II, I have several sponsors, and like the only thing I ever ask of any sponsor is like, I want some free shit, right? Because I want to play with it, and I want a discount for you guys. That's it. That's all I get from my sponsors. And the reason why is like they're making a product that I think is awesome, and it's in the genre that I love, and I'm trying to help them out, man. I'm here to help out the genre.
that's exactly been our attitude as well. We've got a few sponsors as well, and you know, we're helping out wherever we can. Now, you know, if I ever get to a certain point, not gonna lie, we will do some of the things, and that money's gonna go into little guy's college fund or making the show better. But that's a long way off, and you know, I would rather not go down that road where my hobby turns into work,
Dude,
and I hate it. So yeah, you've got the right mentality, the right frame of mind to keep what you're doing fun and going, because so many people out there, at least that I've met lately, are either burnt out, or trying to recover from burnout. And
you know, and I've seen like some of the creators that I follow online, and I don't even like that fucking phrase. It's just dudes on YouTube making videos. You know, they get caught up in this like miasma where they have to fucking do whatever to do the algorithm or what, dude. And listen, you're not going to make any money at this. You're not. And if you do, it's going to be very little. So just do what you want to do, what you love to do, and don't placate that crap. This is a hobby. It's our game. It's our hobby, man. Stick to it. Do what you want to do. Cuss. Play games that no one's even heard about. You're not going to get any algorithm, pats on the back from it. But you know what? You're doing what you want to do, man, and it's real. It's not making crap just to fill in, what you feel you have to do. It's bullshit. Just play what you want to play. Be one with the hobby, man. Be zen with the hobby. Mel's calling me a hippie. Hell yeah! Dirty hippie? Naked? I'll run around in the trees with free love? Getting wasted? That doesn't sound too bad. But yeah. Uh-oh, I lost Shadow. All right, guys. Weird War 2 has taken over Shadow and Sun. It's us now on the march. So what are we going to talk about, man? What do you guys want to hear? I'm open book, man. Let's hear what you guys have to ask me some questions. Let me get the YouTube thing so I can see what you guys are saying. And Shadow, you got a delay, man. You can't have a delay. It doesn't work that way. You got to be raw. I can't see my YouTube is acting stupid, guys. Sorry, I can't see the. But yeah, so I think I'm still on the show here. Maybe I got knocked off. But yeah, so guys, so if you're into Weird World War II, there's lots of different games out there. If you're if you're into like bolt action, they've got their own Warlord's got their own spin called Conflict 47. You guys got Westwind has Secrets of the Third Reich. They've been around a while. It plays similar to like a 40K. Dust, unfortunately, Dust is no more, but you can still get some of the Dust stuff out there. And I believe, oh God, Cool Mini or not, bought the Dust IP. And so they're going to convert it into whatever fucking thing they're going to do. I think it's going to be more like a Zombicide. I think they're going to convert Dust into kind of like a Zombicide kind of game. What else we got, baby? We got Shadows over Normandy. It's like a hex encounter kind of game. It's a lot of fun. Artoon Cthulhu from Odysseus. They've got their role-playing aspect, and their Artoon Cthulhu Skirmish is their skirmish game version, like miniature wargaming. And but I'm not a big fan of those mechanics. They use the oh God, what was it? Dystopian Legion tactic or dystopian something tactics. Not a big fan of the exploding dice kind of rolling stuff. But then you got great stuff like the classic Gearkrieg 15 millimeter. Weird World War II. That's basically Flames of War with walkers and jetpacks and shit. My buddy JC wrote an excellent, like 200 plus page Weird World War II book for 2-hour war games nuts rule set. If you guys probably can't hear, but Mel's adding her 2 cents into everything I say off on the side. So Mel's my woman. You see her yelling at me and stuff, getting her ass kicked. But no, she's my partner in crime. But I hope I'm still on. So this is ticking away. For some reason, I can't access my YouTube. It's all jacked up. Yeah, we living in simple times over here, guys over here. But
hey,
yeah,
sorry about that, man.
Oh, no problem. I took over the channel. I was showing. I hope you don't mind titties and explosions and stuff like that.
No. I've literally done not that, but I've been there. I don't know what the hell happened, but
But yeah, so I was just
Okay.
kind of telling the guys some of the games that are out. There's a lot of Weird War out there, man. Go to my channel, Weird World War II, on YouTube. We play a lot of shit.
Yeah, you
So
plug your channel away, man. I want to see you get not just that 400, but I want to see you get to the 500 and then because I
yeah,
know you're gonna pass me up.
no,
You've
whatever.
got
See, the thing about
uh,
Weird World War II, it's a small niche, man, because you got the straight historical gamers fucking hate you. And then you got like, people that, oh, you're playing with Nazis. I don't feel comfortable with that. Or, I don't feel comfortable with titties and all. I'm a big, as you see in my games, I got naked chicks and shit's blown up and they are Nazis and they're Soviets and there's all the bad guys and all the good guys, and everybody's in there. Some people don't like the superhero aspect of it or the mythos aspect of it or whatever. But I don't care.
this is funny. I am right there with you. My son, he's a little bit of a prude, but he gets that from his mom. Go figure. But yeah, I got no problem with any of that. As a matter of fact, I've got some pretty cool stuff in my collection as well. Some really really old stuff that I consider art,
And
and
listen, Shadow, I have some great sponsors that make some fantastic miniatures. I have like Brother Vinny and Manufacturer, and they make a lot of like really risque stuff. But dude, so any of you guys out there that have a channel and you want to get a sponsor, man, all you have to do is don't expect them to come to you. Don't, and don't
nope,
be like a
nope.
sponsor whore. That's weird. But if there's a product line that you enjoy that you're showing on the channel, just reach out to, man. Seriously, just
Exactly.
reach
That's
out.
all I ever did.
And
We did back in the early days of the channel. We did a video for Dungeons and Lasers, and they liked it so much they used it for one of their commercials over in
oh, that's cool.
Poland and Europe and what have you. It was just a wholesome. We just made a Christmas sort of diorama with their products. Baby Jesus off on one side, and then a big long dungeon hallway with their product, and then some Christmas music in the background, and they loved it. But you got to reach out.
Yep.
But you got to be honest. If you love their product, be ready to show people why you love their product.
Yeah.
Because
And,
when we watch someone shilling somebody's product, we
oh,
can tell.
Jesus.
Guys like us at least, we can tell
There's
when
nothing.
when certain people are just doing another product review because it's
Oh my God. I
made by a
hate.
big huge company.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mean. I
No
mean, I'm
names,
not
but
bashing you, Shadow. You're a good dude, but I hate box openings. Oh my God, I hate them. For some reason, I just cannot handle
that
box
was
openings.
the that was our very first thing we ever did. It was my son's idea. He was like 11, and it was his idea to make the channel. We were sitting there through COVID, just
Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah.
kind of. We were bummed out. We had nothing to do. The poor guy was miserable, and I was getting this big box of stuff in the mail, and he's like, he's 11 years old, watching YouTube all day long, when he's not in school, even when he was in school, online learning BS. And he's like, Dad, we should make a channel. I'm like, all right, buddy, we'll try it.
That's cool.
And we did that. And so it's just kind of a tradition, especially since it's almost always that company that got us started. The company we did
Yeah.
do most of the unboxings this is the same company we did the commercial for. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have, we probably would have petered out, a long time ago. And obviously, if it wasn't for, people like the folks that are in the chat right now, and Cal Vanoni, Grim to say, and there's somebody else out there I'm missing, but of course Bruce Lombardo and Max from Legion of Myth. If it wasn't for all you guys, we wouldn't be here right now doing what we're doing. So thank you guys. And Grandma, you're the next superstar out there. You know it. We're gonna make you famous. I don't know how yet, but we're gonna.
You'd be surprised, man. When I first started, Nick from British Legion just threw out a heads up. Hey, there's this guy named Brian. He started a Weird World War II. It's pretty cool. Check it out, right? I never even talked to Nick before, right? And we're pals now. And also, just there's people out there like that, man. I mean, and be like that. If there's somebody that you like, I do interviews. Like if you go to my channel, I do interviews of people, and it's not just anybody can fucking interview. Hey, what does it say? Dude.
Are you dudes bikers? Yeah, I got a bike, a bicycle. That's the closest I get is riding my bike with my son. I'm not really a motorcycle guy. I would like to be, but I just put too much money into my damn hobby to
It
get
ain't
a
fucking cheap,
motorcycle.
man. It is
To
not
get a
cheap.
motorcycle that I know is going to break down just about every time I take it out on the road.
They're uncomfortable as
So-
hell too, man. You get the extremes of weather. I mean, and like the cred. Do you really get any cred driving a motorcycle nowadays? I mean, I don't know. I just never was into that. I had some buddies that were into that stuff.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here. I plus I have other collections, other tools, if you will, that are I can't take them, on a motorcycle, if you know what I'm saying. And I'd rather have more of those than
You're not
than
kowtowing to the algorithm by not saying this, are we, Shadow?
No. I just I don't like people knowing exactly what I own, because some of the stuff I own is games as well. I've got some really old stuff that I was trying to explain to someone the other day. I've got some books that are game books that are almost older than I am, and they ought to be in a freaking museum. I mean, I've never seen some of the books I have. I've never seen another copy. Never.
I'm surprised. And I don't know of one, but I'm not surprised that we don't have like a gaming mecca museum somewhere.
I mean, there kind of is one from Dungeons and Dragons, but it's like a house. It's not like, and it's kind of shady, if you know what I mean. Some of the people involved.
I don't know. I kind of like those shady houses.
Living off the old Gygax name, as it were.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And that's another thing. It's like, it happens, man. You got these gamers, these geeks. And when money, I tell you, man, money is the root of all fucking evil, dude, because it's not part of the hobby anymore. You're not a gamer anymore. You're freaking making money. And if you guys follow my channel at all, I'm a staunch. This is my hobby. If you want to give me money, fine. That's fine. But I don't need your money. Go support some of those cool, people that, make some awesome product. I don't need your money. I can pay a monthly
I've met a lot
internet
of
fee.
Cool game creators over the last, 40 plus years. And, I'm going to be actually writing some stuff later this year, but it's not really to make money. It's to make a point. That there's some trends in the hobby that I'm just not a big fan of, and I want to show people that it doesn't have to be like that.
I don't play any. I mean, I personally like all of our game. I've created Battleground Weird World War II. It's my own thing. I just play my own thing. People ask me, "Hey, man, are you gonna write?" I mean, it's all written out on notebook pads, but I don't know if I want to sell it. It's just because it evolves. Because it's like, oh, I kind of like this rule, like whatever, and I'll work it into my system. And
take care, Ian. Have a great weekend, buddy.
But yeah, so I mean, for the people out there, you don't have to play other people's stuff. Play your own. Just play your own stuff. Because you can do battle reports. You can do battle reports of your own stuff. I'm sorry. Go
full on production mode. No, I'm just trying to let people know about, just get a notebook and you and your buddies can write crap down, and that's it. We did that in the old days. We would make up our own versions of games or whatever. We didn't have to, go by, the gospel according to. If you and your friends are having a good time, that's all that freaking matters in the long run. When you're old and gray. Oh, wait a minute, already there. And you're, looking back on your life, you're not gonna, you're not gonna regret those times with your friends. You're
Yeah.
not gonna regret, oh man, we should have been playing Wizards of the Coast games the whole time. You will never say that.
Fuck
You will
no.
never say, you'll never be saying, oh man, I should have stuck with Games Workshop. No, you won't be saying
Listen,
that.
if
I mean,
you're
some of
playing
you
a
will. I
game,
mean, some of you guys will.
I mean, if you're
But
playing a
you know what I
game and
mean?
you're bitching and moaning about the new army lists and you're bitching them about the new rules, you're playing the wrong game, brother. You are not. That's not how it's supposed to work. It's not supposed to work that way. You're supposed to just roll dice, give your friends a bunch of shit, kill their toys, and that's what it's about. It's not about, oh, I can't do this anymore, or the new Q&A is out. Man, that's the wrong system, dude. It's the wrong thing. At least for me,
Mhm.
I just not into that crap.
Yep. Absolutely. Comics do suck nowadays.
Oh,
I stopped
I
buying
gave up on
comic
comics
books
too.
decades ago, and I kind of regret not having my son read more of them. But at the same time, you know, he's got it. He's got his own thing now. He's writing his own stories,
That's
and
cool.
you know, coming up with his own lore and his own everything. And the less he reads of some of that stuff, the less likely he's going to be to emulate it or go down the
Yeah.
wrong path or be tempted to copy something that won't be so difficult to realize what he's copying, if you know what I mean.
I told my kids, be true to yourself, even if that doesn't mesh well with everybody else. Fuck it. Be
This
yourself,
is
because
beautiful,
you will
Grandma.
never be able to satisfy everybody. So don't try. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. Play your
Grandma
dream.
says,
Very good, Grandma. Play your dreams, not somebody else's. That's exactly right. That's what Weird World War II is, man. Because how I play is going to be completely, probably different than how you play. And embrace that. And it doesn't have to be World War II. It can be Napoleonics, or it could be English Civil War, or it doesn't have to be weird like monsters and shit. It could just be like Napoleon won Waterloo. What's next?
mm-hmm.
Continue the campaign that he lost. What happens? It could be that weird. It does not have to be monsters and mechs and like crap.
But it's
It
cool
is.
if it is.
Well, yeah,
Uh,
I mean, totally. But I mean, if that's not your speed, because I
who
know,
doesn't
like
like
we did
giant stompy robots, right, guys?
yeah,
Who doesn't
big
like
stuff.
giant stompy robots? But well,
But yeah, so that's a new game, isn't it? A
yeah.
Kickstarter right now? Big Stompy Robots
Is
or
it?
some shit? There's a game, like a new
If
Kickstarter
so,
out.
if so, they owe a friend of mine some money for the name at least, or at least some credit.
See,
Maybe he heard it first somewhere else,
that's
but
another thing. It's like there is very, very limited innovation in our hobby. And the reason why is a lot of it's been done, but we borrow. I mean, we borrow, trust me, from everybody else. Gygax didn't start it all. I mean, I'm sure he was taking ideas from Featherstone or whatever, but it's rare that something's purely unique. But so instead of us versus them camp kind of crap, we're all just borrowing from each other, man. Find that system that you mesh well with, that you love, and that you don't fight over the rules. And that's the system you need to do. And then
and
convert.
that us versus them crap has got to go. That crap has got to go. I won't be part of it, or at least I'm trying. Everybody I talk to, we all have that one thing in common, and that's love of math rocks and miniatures. All that other stuff. That leave that at the door. If we're coming to play a game, just leave it at the door. I know it's hard. It's real hard for me even.
Leave your politics, leave your your problems, and let's just roll some dice and kill each other's toys. That's it.
Yeah, man. Because that's exactly it. We're there to put that stuff aside. Otherwise, we would be in politics, or we would be at work, or we would be fighting with our significant other, or cursing at traffic or something like that. This is what we do to put all that other crap away.
Right.
So let's actually put it all away and enjoy the damn game. And then, after the game, you want to talk politics or something like that, cool. But
let's have a beer.
Chances are you're going to want to talk about what happened, what mistakes you made, how you would have done it differently, or what you'll do next time, or what it inspired you to do, next time.
It's like I can play,
play.
I can play a Nazi she-wolf with big titties in my game and not prescribe to the politics behind that. I can play a Roman legionnaire and not prescribe to the Roman, expansionism of the ancient world. It's just like, guys, it's a game. Let's go roll some dice. Damn.
Yeah, because in the long run, those companies not only do they not know you exist, they don't care.
No.
Maybe you'll bump into them at a convention or a game shop and you will make friends with them. Cool. But that's not even a fraction of a percent.
Yeah.
It's like 1 in a billion times that's going to happen. And for the most part, they're doing their thing. Let them do their thing. If you want to meet them, then make your own thing. And then you'll actually have a better chance of maybe someday meeting them, because you'll be doing your thing and they'll be doing their thing in the same convention hall. And then you'll get a chance to bump into them because they're going to take a look at whatever it is you created, because, that's what game creators do. They look at other people's stuff, and be like, hey, I'm stealing your idea. No problem. I'm stealing your idea,
I was like, I worked at the comic shop, the game shop, I was the guy that liked listening. I was the guy that liked listening to, that zit-faced kid that comes up wanting to tell me about his character. I like that kind of crap. I wasn't like going to dismiss him. So, whatever, dude. I like that shit. So I'm into the hobby. I'm into the people into it. If you're sincere, if you're some drone for some, product, then I can tell. And I don't prescribe to that crap. I want gamers. Be gaming. And Shadow, you seem like a gamer. I need to see you do some gaming though, brother. You need some gaming on the channel.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm on a lot of other channels, and that's where I do my gaming. I've been in. If you've seen Table Breakers, we do a game every month, and actually next month I will be dungeon mastering or whatever, a Traveler game for the guys.
Oh, wow.
And I'll let you know when that's up. You'll see it on my channel at least once or twice. I got to make sure I got time left in May from my StreamYard account to be able to do that. And not this weekend, but next weekend, next Sunday, I'll be on 28mm RPGs. I'll be in his Traveler game. And it's been like a month since we played. And I'm actually in a bunch of other games that they're online, but they're not live for whatever reason. But there's some games that I've been in
Shake it, baby.
online. But I'm to be honest, this whole last year, I was like the forever DM for more than 40 years. And this last year is the first year I got to play as a player, except one time I played when I was in my 20s as a player. And this last year, I just said, I'm playing. I'm not going to DM,
You can say hi.
Not chronological year from January to January, but like April or May, I started getting into games with the guys that I was meeting.
That's cool.
And I'm just playing, and oh my God, it's so much fun to actually be the player. Those control freak guys out there that just want to be the DM.
Dude.
Cool.
Like, that's one of the reasons I go to conventions,
you know what
man.
I mean?
Like, I'll host some weird World War II games at the conventions, but then you know what? I put all that aside, and I'm a gamer. I'm not worried about cleaning up tables. I'm not running shit. I'm just rolling dice, man. And listen, if you're a gamer and you're not getting that, you need to, because man, it's cathartic.
Absolutely.
If you're the DM all the time, or the GM, or you're running games constantly, man, then that's cool, because those people need to be out there. But you need to take that break and actually roll some dice and not worry about shit. just roll dice and play, man, because
Amen,
you
brother.
got to have it. You got to have that balance.
Exactly. Nathan, take care, buddy. I will see you tomorrow night. Looking forward to it. Everybody else, if you get a chance, go check out the Quantum Show with Nathan Allen. It's a lot of fun. Just a bunch of old farts talking UFOs and aliens and
Man, we
psychic
got
powers and Bigfoot.
chupacabra. They're all over around here, man. We have to talk about some chupacabras.
You know what? You got some stories to tell. We will have you on and you tell us all about it. Yeah, it was weird, being, after so long of just being the DM. And the coolest thing about it, no offense to my friends in the real world, so to speak, that they're not DMs, and they're good players, but it's so much different being in games where everybody is like a hardcore DM or used to be, or and now I'm playing with like a different sort of level of gamers. My friends are my friends. We've been through thick and thin, decades. We've been friends, since high school and college, and I'm playing with these other people who've been doing the same thing, but it's different. When you're playing with your old high school buddies, it's just different. We've been through weddings and children being born, hospitals, and all that real world crap.
Yeah.
So it's a different kind of relationship. When I'm playing with Jade and Baron and Bruce and those guys, they're great guys, but they're bringing something to the table it's just different. It's not better, it's just
different.
It's just different. And it's been a lot of fun. If you're a forever DM, find a new table and just enjoy the freaking ride, man.
Me and Mel were watching some TV and some ads were popping up about like professional DMs, right? And you pay them to DM. I'm like, you know what? And like there's like some like oh, I've been dungeon mastering for 2 years now, and they charge $40 an hour. I'm like, and excuse my French, guys, but if someone came up to me and asked if I would pay $40, I'd go fuck yourself. I have never charged anybody DM anything. It's like, who are these people? How did our hobby become so monetized?
I used to get paid when I was a kid. When I was working at the store, I got paid to DM, and I did that for like 3 years. But I was DMing for people our age. Okay, yeah. I was there every day, every hour I could, and I learned some really valuable lessons, not just gaming lessons, but life lessons, by being with these guys. And when the shop closed, okay, I guess I'm working for free now, but it wasn't work. It was having fun, It just so happened that it was, at that time when, a lot of the newer AD&D books were coming out, the Monster Manual 2, Fiend Folio. It was around that time.
Yeah.
It was literally like, I was there when the first Fiend Folio came into the store, the first Monster Manual 2. And that's what was going on. And, the guy needed to make money. I wasn't getting paid, as much as he was. I was getting free stuff. I was 14. I didn't need money. I was just going to spend it at his shop anyways.
That's different. That's right, not like you're not like on a website offering DM services at hourly rates.
All kinds of websites offering stuff.
Who prescribes to that crap? Is that a thing? Do people do that?
Yeah, they do.
Do they really? I'm on a different planet.
And a friend of mine, he literally goes to a shop and gets paid. Or I don't know, I've never seen it. I'm going to take his word for it that he gets paid. How much and how often, I don't know. But cool. But to me, that sucks some of the life out of the fun.
It does.
You know what I mean? I don't want to have to rely on that money, which I don't.
Like it's almost like everything is just monetized. It's like, for you to host a game, it costs money. For you to do this, it costs money. It's like, man, that's just not the world I grew up in, because we like if you couldn't afford, like I had a buddy that played 40K and he was orc, and he couldn't afford the Warbore, models. So he got like old D batteries and glued an orc on it, and that was his. We didn't care. We just wanted to play, man. It wasn't about having all the toys. It wasn't about that wasn't about the money, man. It was about us all getting together and just playing games, man. And it's just this industry and with YouTube, it's changing, man. It's changing the mentality. It's like everybody wants some money or something. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And I don't know.
Mobius,
all right, guys. So go ahead.
Hold on. Mobius, I will be playing Mongoose 2nd Edition next month on Table Breakers. And Grandma, glad to hear it. Batteries recharged. I'm telling you, that's what we all need. And where can we find Weird World War II for people just arriving?
If you want to see how we play, just go to the Weird WWII Weird World War II channel on YouTube, and you can see what we're doing. But my if you go to weirdwwii.com, that's my blog. That's the center focal point for wherever you want to. All of our different sites and our sponsors, and all the shit that we do, it's all right there. So and again, Weird World War II isn't a brand. It's not like a game system. It's whatever. There's a lot of different Weird World War II out there, and it's however you want to play it. And I plug the genre, not a specific system, because I just want to expose the genre. So it's up to you to decide how you want to play it, but I showcase everything within the World War II, Weird World War II, Pulp, Grindhouse, all of that. If you're doing it, I'm plugging it. So maybe you'll find that niche or that specific rule system that you dig or that look. So I just want to expose everybody to, what they can find and turn them on, I guess. So, Shadow.
Literally genre.
It's a genre.
I was doing a show last night on steampunk, and it's not my bag. I'm not a steampunk guy. But
Weird World War II would be considered. Weird World War II would be considered diesel punk. That's a label that the punk people use, but it's the same thing. Mm-hmm. Diesel punk would be Weird World War II. Right.
Mutant Chronicles is also one of the few games I've heard called diesel punk, but it's a genre that I think is more accessible than steampunk for some people.
Might be.
If I was gonna take a choice, I'm gonna be in a steampunk game this month. It's a 2-part on Table Breakers, and it's not my genre, but I'm gonna give it my full attention.
I'm a gaming whore. I'll play anything at least once.
Right. But afterwards, am I gonna be like, oh, I'm hooked on? No.
Yeah.
Too old to be jumping into new genres. I know what I like. The money's not the thing. I can. No. I mean, it's just how much time do I have left to invest? You know what I mean? So I'm 56 this month. And I'm
the same way. It's like if you're into like Guns and Navarone or Where Eagles Dare or The Eagle Has Landed or Kelly's Heroes or any of that, that's Weird World War II, man. None of that shit happened. It's all make believe.
Right.
And that's Weird. And then there's a lot of stuff out there, man. And then you don't have to play the weird, heavy weird. You can play, a commando team of Germans have infiltrated the UK to kill Churchill. There you go.
Mm-hmm. And people have been doing the what if thing.
Exactly. That's weird war.
For as long as I can remember, at least as long as there's been, television, I want to say, Hogan's Heroes was Weird
I was a huge
War
combat fan.
Oh
You
no
know,
shit. Rat Patrol.
Desert Rats, or not the Desert Rats, the
It was Rat Patrol. Rat
Rat
Patrol.
Patrol. Rat Patrol. Oh man, I was all into that stuff, man.
That
So
one was a hard one to find back in the day. It was like
yeah.
Saturday afternoon or something. For me, I think it was like Saturday at like noon exactly. And my old man, again, that's why I asked. He got me into a lot of cool stuff that, you know, sometimes I don't give him enough credit for, and hopefully, one of these days, your kids will come around and they'll be like, Dad, I started
They'll go,
playing this
yep,
with my friends, and I'm like,
Dad was a
you
crazy
know,
bastard.
you never know. I mean, I, you know, my son didn't get into it until I'm not sure exactly when, but it happened, and now he's drifting away because of school and you know uh, JROTC and fencing class and chess club and friends and all that stuff, which he was denied for a couple of years.
Oh,
As kids, they really got cheated, and I'm not gonna try to pull the reins and no, you got to be here. He wants to go hang out with his friends, go do it. Some of them actually play D&D and have been here, and I've actually run a game for them. And summer's right around the corner. So we'll
oh
get some
man, I
gaming
remember
in. But
summers. Summers was heaven. It was nothing but long nights of gaming. I mean, we'd go out and play outside and stuff too. But man, when the weekend hit, we were in the basement eating pizza farts, D&D. We'd be watching like Evil Dead and all the like the Beyond and
those
all
are the
the
days,
all.
man.
Oh, dude, yeah, those are good. I mean, we can do that now. Me and Mel, we'll do like a Friday 13th marathon, or we'll watch all of
That's
the
cool.
all that kind of crap. We're big splatter punks, so yeah, we still do that all the time. But
Yeah, it's weird. I used to do that a lot when I was younger, but I can't get, literally we're lucky if we watch one movie a week of
oh, really?
actually turning on a TV. It's all about, YouTube. That's all we watch or other, I watch a lot of stuff on Rumble and things like that. But,
We're on Rumble.
it's so easy and we're on Rumble too. And it's so easy to just, find exactly what you want at that
Yeah.
minute. You know what I mean?
But
Whereas, the
it's
old days,
hard.
it's like, what's on? Oh, cool, this is on.
I
Okay,
don't
there's
know
something
about
on.
you
Let's go out and
guys.
play.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it's hard for me to navigate YouTube because I'll plug in something and there's like five returns. I'm like, there cannot be only 5 videos about this in YouTube. Come on. Now, I don't know how to work it or something because there's got to be more
What were you looking
games
for?
out there. Just, I mean, I don't know. I'll look up like I can't give you a specific, but like look up like historical, I mean, anything, and you get like 3 different channels, and that's it. It's like there's got to be more than three. There's got to be more than like if you look up like World War II wargaming, there's got to be more than like those 4
I wonder
guys.
if they're going by uh, the content or just what the creators put in their
I don't know.
on their about me page. Where it talks about where you can tell people about your channel and tell it what
Yeah,
kind of channel it is. Because sometimes people change their channel, what their focus on is in their
yeah,
channel,
that's
but then they
true.
don't go and update that. I didn't even put anything on our about page until a couple of months ago, and we've been doing this almost 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
How long have you been doing?
I'll plug Weird World War II in our links all the time, and like if you put in Weird WWII, man, our videos don't plaster at all. It's just like maybe like number 18 or number 57 but it's just weird because I plug in Weird WWII and it's just a bunch of other stuff. And I don't know. It's weird.
Happening, Armstrong?
Mad Eye Miniatures. I don't know. Is Mad Eye a producer or is he a
No, he's a YouTuber who does a whole lot of Gaslands
Gasland?
and
Okay.
40K stuff. He's over in Ireland, but he's originally from Poland, He's a great guy. If you guys haven't checked out Mad Eye
There's some
Miniatures, go give him love.
there's some great stuff coming out of Poland, man. There's some pretty good minis companies there and some
Yeah,
gaming companies. That's
Archon
another thing I
Studios.
suggest. Go to Board Game Geek. You guys ever been there? That site, Board
Oh
Game
yeah,
Geek, and
oh
just
yeah,
plug
yeah.
in go to the miniature wargaming section or whatever, and just go through the lists, man. There's so much out there. There isn't. You can
Yep.
if you're looking for grim dark or whatever, it's more than 40K and whatever the new thing is. I mean that stuff's been
Right.
around forever. There's all sorts of systems doing that stuff, and it's
And
just
never hesitate to look into an old game. I mean,
yeah,
and by old, I don't mean like 10 years. I mean like 30 or 40. There's something magical about the way they used to write the old games. They didn't have, all this, gloss. They were just doing it on their own,
yeah,
flying by the seat of their pants, literally, when it came to game design. Maybe they were playing some games you never heard of or whatever. Maybe sometimes certain game companies were really, really dry, but
yeah.
sometimes you'll find a gem out there. I've got this game here. Check this out. Probably nobody. Well, we'll see. Can I get it out there?
What you
I've
got?
got hundreds of games behind me.
Gunslinger. That sounds familiar.
It,
Is that a
it's an
West
Avalon Hill.
Avalon Hill? Okay, I
Avalon Hill.
probably played that.
I've never played it. I've had it in my
We
collection for decades. Never
we
freaking played it.
Me and Mel played the original. Remember the movie The Keep, the 1980 movie, The Keep. So Mayflower or Mayfair Games made a
Yeah,
game,
the Mayfair sound.
and we played it, and it is boring as hell, dude. It was agonizing. Me and Mel were like, "Yeah, this sucks. We'll just highest die wins." But yeah, I love old games. I have the gaming guys that I game with. They're all in their 60s and 70s, and they have
Oh, really?
all the old Avalon Hill stuff, all the Steve Jackson stuff. I mean, they were playing stuff in the 70s and 60s. So I'm exposed to all this stuff that you never see. They still have the original Jutland and Gettysburg, they got Fortress America and they got Battlemaster, Shogun, and they got all of it.
I've got Shogun right up there.
Man, they got it all, man.
Mine's actually Samurai Swords next to my
Oh,
Twilight Imperium.
That's the later one. Yeah.
I've never. Yeah. I had the original, got rid of it, and then lo and behold, I was at a yard sale about 8 houses down, and the guy was selling it, and I got it 100% complete, $5.
Oh,
like hell yeah! I know,
That's
right?
Awesome. Yeah,
I've got Starship Troopers back here. I've got John Carter, World of Mars. Yeah,
that's a good game. The Heinlein's Starship Troopers.
I've got 3 copies of Freedom in the Galaxy that I've yet to ever play.
Oh,
because every time I bought a copy of it, it would be missing something. So I just keep buying copies until I could make one complete copy. But now I've got extra stuff. Should anybody ever actually want to play that game?
You know what everybody needs to do? You go to conventions that have flea markets attached to the convention. Oh my God, it is worth the ticket just to go to that, guys, because imagine a garage sale of gamers. It is like heaven on earth, dude.
Cool,
It's heaven on earth.
You can teach me how to play it.
Yeah, you guys need to throw down.
It really does have, I don't know if you can see this, but it really does have a really, it's a beautiful cover. Whoever painted this, I would literally, if I could get the original of this, I drop a couple bills on it. It's like, you want to sell me that? I will take it off your hands and I will put it over my fireplace. No problem. Oh, you don't have a video.
There's a video of Mel smiling ear to ear, and then behind her is just their collection, those guys' collection of hundreds of Avalon Hill and all that stuff, all on the shelf, on the bookshelf. It's amazing.
Okay, Grandma. Yeah, my collection is weird. It's an eclectic mess of a lot of different things, but you know,
Well, hey
it's
guys,
fun.
Shadow, I don't mean
It's
to
a
cut
fun
you off,
hobby.
but Mel is giving me the stink eye. She's freaking hungry.
Uh,
So it's
you know what? That
4:30
is
here
not a
in
problem at all.
Texas.
I was gonna only do this an hour, but this was a lot of fun. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
dude.
what we're talking about. I don't know what, but when I met you, I knew, dude, this guy's gonna be. He needs more exposure.
Well,
Other
you know
people need
what?
to know about this.
I have to give you cred because I came on a Saturday night and you never even heard of me before. And you just let me come in and talk to you guys. Man, most people wouldn't do that. Most people don't want to bring in somebody new, man. And I'm telling you guys, a lot of times we all run similar circles and a lot of us have the same origin, dude. And you'd be surprised how, you know, relatable most of us are, man. It's great. And giving
I
somebody a
know. Look at
chance
you and
just
Owen,
to,
man. I believe everything happens for a reason. And people were nice to me when we were down at 170 subs, and that was less than a year ago.
that's awesome.
Okay, and now we're and thanks to people out there, inviting me into the community. The least I can do is bring these people who I consider
And I
friends,
appreciate it.
great guys. You know, um, in my old job, I had to be able to size up a person, instantly, from just, or I would be dead. And it's always paid off. There's other guys out there that I want to bring into the show, but this isn't a one and done thing. I want to see you on Saturday nights whenever you got the time,
Yeah.
and one of these days when I get to Texas,
Oh, definitely, bro.
you know,
I'll get you some barbecue and some beer, and we'll go shoot some guns, and we'll throw some dice, brother, for
yeah, man,
sure.
brother.
All
Give you
right,
give you
guys. My
give your wife
woman's
a
got
hug
the
for
pan
us.
out. She's twirling her pan and her rolling pin. So say
Okay,
goodbye,
give her a hug
Mel.
for us.
Whatever you guys do, and remember this: whatever you do, you guys keep it weird. Okay.
Amen.
All right, shout out. Have a good one,
Everybody
brother.
out there, you too, man. Everybody else out there, have a wonderful weekend. Play some games. Do whatever it is that uh, gets you rolling some dice. Unless it's craps, in which case I can't really condone too much
That's
gambling. I mean,
fun too.
unless it's legal where you're at. But go play some games. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. And thanks for stopping by, Brian. Again, can't wait to talk to you again. When you see
Thanks for
Omen,
having me, brother.
give him a pop in the for me, okay?
I'll
Because
do it, brother.
one of these days I'll get to. And take care, everybody. Love you guys.
See you
Adios.
guys. Keep it weird.